In the midst of a cold Polish winter, on January the 18th, 1914, a child was born in the industrial town of Harshow. His name was Jan Franciszek Macha, the first son of a humble iron worker, Pavel, and his devoted wife, Anna. They could not have known that their boy, the first of 6 children, would one day stand as a beacon of faith and courage, and a martyr for Christ. Jan was a boy of many passions, a member of the Scouting movement and Poland's Catholic Youth Association. He played the violin and piano, performed in amateur theater, and excelled as a handball player. But above all, there was a still, small voice that called to him, a voice that whispered of another kind of vocation, a calling to the priesthood. At the age of 20, Jan followed that call. He entered the seminary, certain that this was the road God had chosen for him, the path of a shepherd of souls. On June the 25th, 1939, in the Grand Church of Saints Peter and Paul in Katowice, Jan Franciszek Macha was ordained a priest of God. He celebrated his first Mass at his home parish, St. Mary Magdalene Church, surrounded by family, friends, and the people who watched him grow. After the Mass, he told his sister Rosa, know that I will die young and not a natural death. His sister Rosa was taken back and pleaded with him not to speak such words on such a joyful day. But Jan simply replied, Rosa, just today I want to tell you this, because I am convinced I will die young. As Mass began, witnesses later recalled a strange vision, incense smoke forming the image of a red scarf around the young priest's neck. Was it a foreshadowing of what was to come? Just 2 months later, the world was engulfed in darkness. The Nazi invasion of Poland had begun. Father Jan, though surrounded by fear, never wavered in his mission. He tended to his flock with courage, fully aware of the dangers that loomed around every corner. The Nazi regime sought to Germanize Silesia. Even in church, prayers, homilies, and hymns were demanded to be in German. But Father Jan loved his Polish tongue, the language of his people, of their faith and of their identity, and he refused to let that light be extinguished. Seeing the suffering of so many around him, Father Jan founded a secret organization, Konvalia, meaning Lily of the Valley. Its mission, to raise funds for families whose loved ones had been shot, killed, or arrested. He helped everyone, the poor, the widowed, the orphaned, regardless of faith, background, or nationality. But charity under the Nazi occupation was forbidden. Soon, the Gestapo took notice. Twice he was summoned by the Gestapo. Twice he was warned to stop. But Father Jan refused. On September the 5th, 1941, he was arrested and taken to Katowice prison. For months, he was beaten and tormented. They mocked his faith. They kept him from sleep. And yet, even in agony, Father Jan whispered prayers, asking God to forgive his persecutors. On July the 17th, 1941, Father Jan Macha was sentenced to death. His mother, desperate to save him, traveled across borders all the way to Germany to plead for mercy. She even met Hitler's sister, who promised to speak to the Führer himself. But no reply ever came, only silence. After years of torture, on December the 3rd, 1941, Father Jan Franciszek Macha was executed by guillotine in Katowice prison. He was only 28 years old. From the earliest days of his priesthood, he placed himself completely at the service of others, walking the road of heroic love that would lead him to the sacrifice of his own life. In the darkness of his prison, he found in God both strength and gentleness, enough to face his Calvary with peace. May the martyrdom of Blessed Jan Franciszek Macha be a seed of hope, a reminder that even when evil seeks to silence love, the voice of faith will always rise again. Blessed Jan Franciszek Macha, pray for us.